Remember, a Jedi can feel the Force flowing through him.
You mean it controls your actions?
Partially, but it also obeys your commands.
It's Sunday morning on CBS, and here again is Jane Pauley.
Star Wars' Luke Skywalker launched Mark Hamill's career. But in some ways, that fame has been a double-edged lightsaber. Our Sunday profile is from Tracy Smith.
In 2015, on a remote island high above the sea, Star Wars fans had a reunion with an old friend, Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker. And this past week, at his home high above the sea in Malibu, California, we caught up with him again.
How long have you lived here?
Let's see, we got this in 1978.
Hamill moved here after the first Star Wars film made him a household name.
I heard you call yourself elderly in an interview the other day. You see yourself as elderly?
Well, I called myself an elderly recluse. No, well, it's one of those things where when you say your age out loud, because I'm 71, I go, really? That's older than I ever expected to be.
How do you feel inside?
Much younger. We should be safe in here.
And that's a good thing. His latest movie, The Machine, is not for the faint of heart.
Dad.
I can't use that. After I read Mandela's biography, I made a vow of non-violence.
In the film, real-life comedian Bert Kreischer is in trouble with the Russian mob, and Hamill is his endearing and often annoying father.
And it took about 2 seconds before he started making me mental with the... Look at it! Oh, bear.
He's a monster.
I was drawn to the project because of the relationship between the son and the father. I mean, they're at odds and trying to understand one another.
And a good father-son storyline
I am your father.
is something Mark Hamill knows all about. In the first Star Wars film, a young Luke Skywalker ponders his future with a double son and that John Williams score. But what we're actually seeing here is a 25-year-old actor on the ride of his life.
Take us back to the first audition for Star Wars. You weren't sure whether to play it straight?
Well, the problem was they didn't give us a whole script. And yeah, I couldn't figure out, is this like a send-up of Flash Gordon or whatever? You couldn't tell. 'Cause nobody talks like this. And I was asking Harrison, because he had been in American Graffiti. I said, you know, George, is this like a joke, or should we send it up, make fun of it? Yeah, whatever, let's get it done. So he was no help.
Well, now you know. The enemy's on the move. We haven't much time.
Well, I brought you here. Now what?
Of course, he got the part and was soon working with legends like Sir Alec Guinness.
Rest easy, son. You've had a busy day.
Just meeting him was such a thrill.
What was that like?
Oh my gosh, he took me out to lunch just to get to know each other a little bit. And I kept calling him Sir Alex. And at one point he tapped my face a little harder. I went, ow, what? I want to be known by my name, not my accolade.
Oh my gosh.
So I said, so can I call you Big Al?
You must learn the ways of the Force if you're to come with me to Alderaan.
He looked like an eager kid.
Hey, Lori, it really doesn't make any difference.
But Mark Hamill had a few years in the business under his belt,
I don't see why I was gonna do the digging. Just be glad the cow didn't die.
with a raft of soap operas and TV series credits. Still, nothing could have prepared him for what happened when Star Wars premiered in the spring of '77.
We started the publicity tour. It was Carrie, Harrison, and me. And when we landed in Chicago, I looked out and I saw there were crowds outside. I said, hey, you guys, there must be somebody famous on this plane. We're looking around for like some, superstar athlete or whatever. They're dressed like us. There was no merchandising at the time, so they had, made homemade lightsabers and all these things. We sort of looked at each other and said, wow.
Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars.
Wow is right. The first film alone grossed nearly $800 million on an $11 million budget and became the cultural phenomenon we all know. But by 1981, Hamill wanted to shake his Luke Skywalker image and started doing Broadway shows, including the role of Mozart in Amadeus.
Did you want to play Mozart in the movie?
I went in and I met with Milos Forman, and in between I said, you know, I'd really love a chance at playing Mozart. And he said, oh, no, the Luke Skywalker is not to be being the Mozart. So I thought, well, at least he's honest.
Was that a common refrain? We're not going to buy Luke Skywalker in this role?
Well, I'm sure in their minds, I mean, I at least admire the fact that he said it right to my face. But, you know, it's a crazy business.
Did that hurt?
Well, I was disappointed, but I thought, all you can do is you got to go forward, you know?
His co-star Carrie Fisher helped him put it all in perspective.
She told you back when you were doing theater not to be so precious about theater?
She said, what did you put in the playbill? You know, he's also known for a series of popular space movies.
Is that what you put in the playbill?
Yeah, something like that. And she said, get over yourself. Look, you're Luke Skywalker. I'm Princess Leia. Just accept it.
Like always, you're as tough as nails.
Hamill's life off-screen has been remarkable as well. He's an accomplished voice actor.
Hello? Anybody home?
And a family man. He and his wife Malibu have been married 45 years and have 3 children.
Attention, air raid alert.
And if you find yourself in Ukraine during an airstrike,
Your overconfidence is your weakness.
you might hear Luke Skywalker's voice talking you down.
To be that voice of reassurance in a horrible crisis has got to feel good.
It feels great to be able to do something, you know, instead of just twiddle my thumbs and curse at the television.
Strike me down in anger and I'll always be with you.
Hamill made his most recent Star Wars film appearance in 2017's The Last Jedi. He can't and won't say if he'll ever return.
You know, I had my time, and that's good. But that's enough.
So even though you say you won't go back, there's always a chance that you could go back.
Well, you never say never. I just I don't see any reason to. Let me put it that way. I mean, they have so many stories to tell. They don't need Luke anymore.
You know that a lot of people out there would argue they always need Luke.
And even if he never picks up another lightsaber, the role will always be a part of him.
At this point, you could basically win a Grammy, cure cancer, and still forever you were going to be Luke Skywalker. Have you accepted that?
Yeah, well, I don't care. I mean, the truth of the matter is, I never really expected to be remembered for anything. I just wanted to make a living doing what I liked. And I thought it could be worse. I could be like known as being the best actor who ever played Adolf Hitler, you know, or at least Luke is an admirable fellow.
The Force will be with you, always.